Hey everybody, it's TF Nut. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have another action figure review. This is going to be of the brand new Marvel Legends series, part of the Black Panther Wakanda Forever Attuma series. This is the comic Black Panther from that series. I've been seeing a decent amount of people posting about this. I originally did pre-order it and decided to cancel. I was like, I don't know, I'm going to think about it. But seeing some images of some people having this lately, yeah, it's actually a pretty nice looking figure, and I wanted to see for myself just how nice it is. I'm going to take a quick look at the packaging here. Now, while I'm not particularly crazy about the windowless packaging or its design, at least with the particular color schemes here, I think it does work really well, especially have that comic image in the background, figure in the foreground, that digital rendering. You do have Marvel Black Panther, warnings, choking hazard. You have the Hasbro logo. Now on this side, what they're doing now, since I mostly reviewed figures that didn't come with Build-A-Figures in this packaging lately, they show off the Build-A-Figure, all the pieces each figure comes with. They no longer show the actual figures, unfortunately, but they have the names in each series. Whited out is Black Panther. That's the one you're getting, of course. Build-A-Figure Attuma. This side, actually really nice comic art as well of Black Panther, Marvel Legends series. Top there, Black Panther logo, Marvel Legends series, and Build-A-Figure Attuma, ages 4 and up. On the back, you can see image of the figure right there in a different pose compared to the front. You do have the Build-A-Figure piece that comes with the other accessories. Name of the character up there. Multilingual warnings down here, not really much on the bottom. If I can zoom in real quick, there is the barcode in case you need it. I'll let you screenshot that now if you need it. All right, let's go ahead and get this figure out of the packaging. Here's the figure out of the packaging. I really like this figure. It might be too soon to say. I think this might be the best Marvel Legends comic Black Panther we've gotten to the line yet. I don't really like to subscribe to recency bias because this is a brand new figure, but this Vulcan body really works well with this figure. It's really nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories, then we'll take a close look at the figure. First things first, this figure comes with the left leg of Attuma. I really hope I said that character's name right. You notice a splotch on this finger right there on the blue. Everything else looks fine. I mean, this is mostly molded in this brown, like leather-looking material. I wish they had a little bit of a wash on the bones to bring out that detail, but all that sculpting looks fine. Then it has pinless tech, and it's just mostly molded in this light blue skin color. So all that looks sick. We also have the fists. If you look in, hopefully I can zoom focus really quick. These fists have this claw sticking out here, which is a nice detail, but in some areas, you know, in some angles you can't see it that well, and it looks like the sculpting is a little muddy, like they messed up the sculpting a little bit. But you know, in the other angles, yeah, like look at this one right here, that's definitely supposed to be a claw sticking out. So I wish they did it a little bit better, but it's not too bad. I'm not going to harp on it too much. We do have some nice lines sculpted on the back of the hands. I just wish we had some like paint in the lines to bring out those details a little bit better, but they also continue on the top of the fingers and the knuckles, so that's pretty cool. I want to do some quick swapping. So here's this figure's body. I popped the head off already. This cloak can pop off actually really easily. Just popping the head off, going through the torso. This whole string piece, it's a little bit of a finagly piece, but you can take this whole thing off, and I'm having trouble doing it right now. I think it's caught on something. But this is a good thing, so that way you don't have to like actually break this at all. If you just wanted to have a look like this, and I have that head sculpt here. One thing to note is that these head sculpts, this head sculpt at least I should say, it's a little bit tight to pop back on. But let me zoom out a little bit. This thing, yeah, without that on, I think that looks really cool. One last thing I want to do, this is the head sculpt for one of the previous ones. I believe this is the Walmart. I have it actually right here. There's an alternate head for the Walmart exclusive one right there with the purple there. It came with this alternate head where it's just basic. It also has just white eyes. Popping this on, I'm not the first to do this. I've seen this on Instagram a lot. Now the black on here is a little bit more glossy than the rest of this body, but this is a really nice head swap. This head, it looks a tiny bit too elongated, like a little too wide, but it still looks really nice there. And I do want to try to, I might have to cut real quick. But popping this back on is not as hard as it was to get it off. Pop that on, pop this on, and yeah, that actually looks really sick. Now let's actually take a look at the figure. I really like this head sculpt. I don't have that figure on me, but this head sculpt kind of reminds me of the Toy Biz one. I think the Toy Biz one was rather, you know, better, like a lot of Toy Biz figures when it came to actual sculpting and details. But here, you know, and the Hasbro ones that we've had in the past a couple of years are pretty good too. But the way that it has these nice wrinkles and, you know, scrunching in the face is, to me, reminiscent of that figure. I think it looks really good here. The overall shape of the head is really nice. I think the ears, the pointed ears, look rather nice as well. And the paint and the silver in the eyes is very clean. So I dig that there as well. I do also think that this cloak is rather nice. And I think that it, well, it could have some better detailing in these ropes or straps, whatever you want to call these. They still are rather nice. It's a soft plastic. It can move around that way. You know, you're able to move this around without this getting in the way too much. There may be some like tearing, unfortunately, in the future if you're like not too careful. But these feel rather sturdy, so I wouldn't worry too much. Wraps all the way around the back. You can see the muscles in the back as well. The other unique thing about this figure is the cloak here. Since this thing is pretty short, that barely even goes towards the bottom of the butt there, it's not going to be too top heavy, so that's nice. I don't know if it's the lighting, but in some areas it looks rather matte, and in other areas it's rather glossy. It's kind of a nice effect, honestly. And we do have a nice collar here. Lots of nice wrinkles in other parts of the, you know, the cape. It's a little bit pre-posed here. They do that a lot with their figures, but it's not too bad. It definitely looks like it's swaying a little bit in the wind, but it also kind of looks neutral enough in case he's standing still. So I think that's actually really cool. One thing I do want to mention that I'm starting to like, and I noticed with this particular body. So we pay attention here with how these forearm pieces look with the, you know, the gray meeting the black as well as the actual sculpted stripes. That's one thing I'm noticing with this, is that you can actually feel the separation of plastic in the Vulcan body. So I'm guessing what they're doing when they use this body and they have a particular character, you know, they will have a separate piece, and before gluing, basically gluing this in here, they'll have a separate piece to, you know, if it's character specific, they'll glue this on, or if it's neutral, they'll glue that on. I think that's rather cool. Besides, you know, what they do with some figures, like these, quickly showing off these two figures. Besides the straps and the head sculpts, of course, and the paint apps, it's rather the same body. You know, there's not many different sculpted alterations. There's no added sculpting with any kind of webbing going on this figure. Same thing here. They just add a base coat and everything is rather uniform. Whereas, again, with this, you actually have different parts swapping those the overall body. So I think that's rather nice. And they do that a lot with boots on a bunch of their Marvel Legends. So as you can see, different boots here because the actual line's sculpted, and then different boots. Other than that, besides the belt, I forgot to mention, which has some nice lines all the way sculpted in a glossy black plastic finish on that front right there. Everything else about this figure is relatively the exact same as the Vulcan figure, which is, you know, to be expected. When they're reusing bodies, they're not going to change up the muscles too much, besides, again, character-specific stuff like this. I did forget to mention the hands he comes packaged with. I think they're rather big. I think they're a little too disproportionate, but they do have some nice lines on the back of the hands. Not really anything on the inside there. One thing I'm noticing, that says left and that says right. They don't really need to do that. I don't know why they did that. They do it on the fists as well. So, I mean, it's not a big deal breaker. I just don't know why they did that, because we can kind of tell, you know, that this is the left hand, this is the right hand. But just, we don't have this figure often, at least yet. This is maybe the second time we've gotten this in this line, maybe third. And I do want to show off, again, like the pinless tech, which a big problem with the pinless tech, sometimes, I don't think it's that noticeable all the time, but sometimes you can notice this is a darker plastic applied to this lighter red plastic there, just because of whatever they're doing different plastic wise. This just I guess this is a different, harder material compared to this as being a little bit softer, so it just looks darker. You're not going to get that problem because it's all black, which is nice. So, again, it has that advantage because of the exact color for the plastic. You're doing a different plastic color, sometimes like red. I guess this doesn't translate entirely too well, but it wasn't even that bad on the Vulcan figure, I thought. And it's definitely not noticeable at all on this figure. Lots of really nice pinless tech, not only on the elbows, but in the knees, showing that off. I did also, again, show off the little bit of wrinkles and muscles in the boots. I do think, again, paint, how many times can I say again? Paint in the lines there would have helped bring those out. I do like how the feet are done with, separation going on here, looking nice. Again, there's lots of, muscles sculpted in there. We do have the butterfly joints. This kind of gets in the way of you being able to see what the neck looks like, but I did show it off, what this figure looks like without this cloak earlier. Hopefully you got a good view then. Just showing off, again, the muscles in this figure, because that's about it when it comes to differences. Every time we get this figure, unless they're adding different sculpting, like maybe some different sculpting going on here when they do another figure, it's going to be the exact same muscles as before. There's even some actually nice stretching in the hips, I notice, in the outfit. I do like the proportions. I do think they do a good job of making this look like it's not too muscular, so it looks like somebody is in a suit, but it's muscular enough, if whatever is going on with the plastic, where it's like, looks a little chewed up here. It's like someone was sanding this, and then it's a little bit soft, like smoother here or glossier. You can see that. I don't know what's going on there. That's a little ugly. So, yeah, that's a little strange. If you own the Vulcan figure already, you know what to expect with articulation. The head can go up, even with the cloak kind of getting in the way. It goes up pretty far, but the disc is a little bit tight in some areas where it likes to go back its position a little bit. So that's a little annoying just because of how tight it is. But you can go down pretty far still, side to side, a little bit of a neck pivot in there. So apparently, I didn't really realize this during the Vulcan review, but the butterfly joint could be a lot better. And I don't know what the mod would be right now, but I think you have to cut some excess plastic in here. So just be careful if you want to mod this at all. But that's just the range of motion of the butterfly joint. Arms can go all the way around. They do actually go out really nicely, I think. A little bit of gummy plastic going on here, but not as bad as like some of the previous Spider-Man figures I got like a couple months ago at the bicep swivel, which actually works really well. We have a double jointed elbow, swivel at the wrist as well as a hinge at the wrist. This is for all sets of hands that this figure comes with. Ab crunch goes forward like that, back decently. You also have a waist twist right there. Legs go forward like that. Could be a little bit better on the back. In and out like that. Pretty good on the splits. Upper thigh swivel. Really tight double jointed knees. Be aware of that. And just be careful when you're bending these. Because this is a little bit loose. It feels a little wobbly. I feel like one day I'm going to actually rip this out when I'm trying to do this double joint. But that's as far as the bend goes. We have a swivel here at the calf. And actually, I don't know what's going on there. It looks like it wants to separate a little bit too much. A little bit loose ankle on mine at the up and down, but we do have ankle rockers. Quick size comparisons. I have a couple Black Panther comic figures from Marvel Legends. Right next to him on the left, that is the Bucky Cat mold Walmart exclusive Black Panther. It's going to be a little bit shorter than the Vulcan body one. And the Vulcan body one is going to be a little bit shorter than the Retro Collection one right next to him on the right. Very far left, that is the Shuri figure from the Toys R Us exclusive Shuri and Claw 2 pack. It's going to be shorter than the one in the middle. And Black Series figures like the first ever Mando here are going to be a little bit shorter as well. Overall, this figure is really nice. I think the Hasbro Marvel Legends team did a really great job updating Black Panther in the comic style here. I think the Vulcan body works really well on this figure. I like that the cloak is actually removable. The head sculpt's really good. The paint in the eyes is also really nice. Besides the butterfly joints, the articulation is very good. I just wish that there was a little bit better paint. It's just mostly flat black plastic, unfortunately, and there's not really any paint in the gray to bring out those line details. And for 25 bucks, I do wish that this figure came with something else than just a pair of fists. I know it comes with, a Build-A-Figure piece, but maybe like an unmasked head, like a comic head, would have been nice as well for this offering. Overall, though, it is a really sick figure and a really nice update for this character. $25. I got mine from Amazon. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there, and I'll see you guys later.